Here Mother Hubbard had a fart in the cupboard, a cow had a poo on the moon, the dog had a giggle as he did a little piddle, and the dish was soon full of it. Hello guys, welcome to another vlog. I've got my camera located in a different position, as you can see. Just going out just to test what it looks like and to be able to give a kind of like backwards view of me on the bike. So when I get another camera, I can be able to clip it on here onto my wing mirror and get some views of my wife when we go away for a little short break in a few weeks' time. Been planning the trip for a couple of months now, and it's just up to North Norfolk, along the North Norfolk coast, so there's a few places we're going to be visiting, and hopefully get it all on video for you guys, with some different video angles. Bang. That was a bee. Bee with a headache. This little bit of road is going to test how bumpy it's going to look, because it can end up being quite bumpy along here. Dodging the potholes. There's the big one. It's not actually a bad position actually being in this line, apart from whoa, that big pothole. I wonder, after all these elections and whoever gets in, are they going to begin to fix our roads? Seriously need to do something, because they're absolutely terrible. Right now we're going a little bit slower. I can probably talk without too much wind noise now. One thing I haven't done is given a bike review too much about my bike, now that I've put a few miles on it and had a little play and got used to riding the bike. Well, what can I say? I said in like one of my earlier vlogs that I was weighing up the choice of either the Honda VFR 800 or this Triumph Sprint, and one of the things that I ended up choosing the Triumph Sprint over the Honda VFR wasn't just because of the engine size and power, it was the width. The whole weight of the bike is pretty much identical to the Honda VFR 800. So weight-wise, they're practically exactly the same. Power-wise, well, the Sprint is going to outdo the Honda VFR 800 quite easily. And one thing that I like about the Sprint ST is its width. Even though it's still a fairly wide bike, which it's going to be for a big sports tourer like this, it is a lot narrower at the front across here to what the Honda VFR is. The Honda VFR actually looked a lot lower in the seat and a lot shorter bike, but it just kind of looked a lot wider, a lot fatter at the front, which is another thing that I was put off by, like, the Honda VFR. Another thing also in my choosing was that I just felt that the look of the Honda VFR, the pre-2014 version, just looked a bit too outdated, whereas the Sprint ST just looks a lot more modern, sleek bike. But the sound of the bike, the sound of that triple engine, that exhaust note, you just can't help yourself by actually falling in love with the Triumph triple engine. It's just got an absolutely lovely little burble. Even with the standard can on the back of this Triumph, the sound when you rev it is just absolutely lovely. I say, one other thing with the Triumph's triple engine is that it's got a heck of a lot more torque down at the bottom end compared to what an inline 4 is going to have, because it's a nice in between a two-cylinder bike and the inline 4. And I think Triumph has been extremely successful with their triple engines, with the street triples. They're a very popular bike. A lot of people have plumbed for those type of bikes, and I certainly don't blame them. It's, I believe it's got the kind of same engine as what this Sprint ST has. It's just a different frame and also different look. A lot of people complain about the look of the headlights on the street triple. I actually don't mind the look of that. I think it actually looks fairly retro. Yeah, so hopefully come next month, when I get another camera, I'm going to get the Ion Air Pro lights again. I've actually seen somewhere where it was actually 50 quid for a camera, and for a camera that produces video of the quality that it does for £50, you can't really go wrong. It doesn't have any inbuilt audio on the Air Pro light, but I do all my recording with an external recorder and mic, and then sync all that up afterwards. There is one problem that I've had with recording video and audio separately. and that has been trying to get the audio and video synced up. I found that you can sync it up perfectly okay at say like the beginning point, but so like half an hour into your video it's lost sync, and it's probably 5-6 frames or more out. So it's either the audio recorder I've got is recording time coding correctly, or it's the camera that's dropping frames ever so often and not recording correctly. So it's one of the two, but the way around that I've ended up getting it is just time stretching the audio. So just getting hold of the audio track and then just altering its overall length, so just scaling it up or scaling it down. And it's only by a small amount over half an hour, so it's not going to change the pitch and sound quality, because it's literally just scaling it probably down to about 99.95%, something like that, of its original length. But once you've done that, it's then pretty much synced up. I don't think I've actually said on a vlog actually what software I use to actually do my video editing. I use the Adobe Premiere Pro software, the latest version. I've got it on kind of like subscription, but I've got the whole kind of like Adobe suite on the subscription package because I, need to use it for my job. So I've got the whole lot, but to do kind of like vlogs that I do, you really can just get away with just using Adobe Premiere Pro. You don't even need to have, say, like After Effects to do any kind of like flashy titles. You can do a lot of animating within Adobe anyway. Just layer up a lot of the graphics, use PNG files that have got alphas on, just layer up all the elements and then animate those elements together as a sequence. So in a way you can use Adobe Premiere Pro as what you would do using After Effects. Obviously there's not going to be, all the effects of what you can do in that more expensive software, but for doing a vlog on YouTube it's perfectly fine. And a lot of people get away with very cheap software and even free software. One thing I do with my video is use what's called Luma Curve. It's basically like a spline line graph that you can alter the high and low points of your image, of the luminosity of your image. Because what I found with a video that's captured on these cameras is there's a lot of information that's clipped off at the top end and also the bottom end. So the highlights are clipped and also the shadows are clipped. And if you are using something like Adobe Premiere Pro, I don't know if it's available in other editing softwares, but Luma Curve, if you bring the top end down slightly and also bring the bottom end up so that you bring those ranges back in so they're not getting clipped, then you'll be able to pick out a lot more detail, a lot more colour in both of those ends of the luminance of your video. So a little helpful tip there for you for when you're doing your editing of your videos, to just try and bring out that extra quality of your video. that sometimes otherwise gets lost. Stop. Come on. Oh, I've lost my rhythm. Now that could be a topic for a vlog. Losing your rhythm. But losing your rhythm while you're talking to a camera and vlogging. Sometimes I find that I have to basically shut up at certain points so I can actually concentrate on my ride and restart up again. I'm kind of one of these people, probably because I'm a bloke, but I can't do really two things at once kind of job. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. I'm 40 this year, and in a lot of people's books that's old. Ugh. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, bump. I always wonder what a lot of these bumps are going to do to your bike. Keep going over them all the time. State of our roads, the way they're getting. If anyone from the Ministry of Transport watches these vlogs and videos, please do something about our roads, because they're getting annoying, as in incredibly annoying. Lovely bike there, amazingly clean. Look like one of these Ducati monsters. Probably have to have a look at the back of the footage and see if I can work out what bike it was. Yeah, some people keep their bikes really, really clean. One thing about faired versions of bikes is that you can clean all the outside and all the fairings look lovely and clean, and to everyone's thoughts your bike could be clean, but actually underneath all those panels can be harbouring a lot of muck. Actually, let's go this way. I have never been this way. Never been this way. There's always a first. And some say there's always a last. When you've been on or going on a unfamiliar road that you've never been on before, that you don't know where the bends are, what the road condition is like, how do you end up taking it? Do you take it very cautiously, or do you still go on like a bit of a nutcase? I hope it's the first one, that you take it cautiously, like what I'm trying to do. It's the worst thing to happen to you is putting your bike on the floor just because you're getting a little bit overexcited with the road, and then you come across something that obviously you weren't expecting because you've never been down that road before. But just like this, I don't know where the bends are, I don't know what the road surface is like, but I'll have to do exactly like what my instructor taught me, is to try and look as far ahead as possible and make your plans well ahead. If you can't see, slow up a little bit. Once you can see and it's nice and clear and the road condition is good, then you can open it up a little bit. And I think like what the Royal Jordanian had said, he never rides at 100%. Even though on his videos he might look like he's riding at 100%, he might be riding at 100% of your own ability and my ability of what I would ever dare to do, but it's not at his, because he's got the experience, he's got the years behind him, and he does it every day. And knowing the roads, knowing the kind of traffic you're going to meet on those roads is another thing. So what you see somebody else do on YouTube, don't always think that you can do exactly the same, or even try to do the same, just to look good on YouTube. The only way to look good on YouTube is keeping your bike upright and keeping everything safe. The people that end up putting their bikes on the floor because they're a little bit more exuberant with their throttle are the ones that are going to look like idiots. So, another bit of advice, don't copy people on YouTube. Don't copy me on YouTube. All because I've got a Triumph Sprint ST for my first bike. Don't do the same. Get the bike that is right for you, that's best for you. Don't think that all because somebody else's bike looks great that you feel like, yeah, I want one of those. Because what a bike looks like on the internet as a photograph, on video, is going to be completely different when you're on it and sat on it. This is one of the reasons to get a motorbike. You end up wanting to get out on it and explore places that you would never otherwise come and visit and ride along. As I say, if I didn't have a bike and I still had my car, I would have been sat at home twiddling my thumbs. And I've been twiddling my thumbs recently. Been having some fun with my work. Company that I've been doing some work for over the past year has decided last year that they're going to use this fairly large international company that's developed some amazing bit of software, and that we're going to use it as well, and it's all going to be wonderful. Well, hasn't turned out to be wonderful. Doesn't flipping work. So many problems. There's certain bits we've asked them to work on and fix and get ready for us so that we can use it, and it's not been done. And the chap of this company that I'm working for has been kept getting bills of them. And I was looking at it this morning for him as this software to see have they fixed certain problems, and also is it going to be a workable bit of software, or should we just part company with them and say goodbye? Well, I went on there this morning, as I say, and it was incredibly frustrating using it. There's things doing all sorts of weird things. Just, I wouldn't even have clicked on it, certain items, and they'll be just doing silly, weird little things. Doggy don't like motorbikes. So, hopefully, we'll get things sorted, and I can start doing some actual proper work on it. I mentioned to him in my email, I said, you know, I'm getting a little bit fed up now of keep going onto this company's software site, trying to use their software, and it not working, and we're not being productive, and I'm not getting paid. So he came back and says, well, we can't have you not getting paid. He says, so put in a day's rate for today, and he'll pay me ASAP. So I'm being paid for today, and I'm on my bike. So technically I'm being paid to be on my bike. Lovely. Right, I think I know where we're coming down through. Some nice thatched cottages round here. Still not great with my gear changes. Will I ever be? Ah, yeah, I know where I am now. I know where I am. I think, he says. He says. Yes. Melford, not Melford. Gonna be a little bit weird. Shaky, bumpy. Doing a vlog with a forward-facing camera, or a backward-facing camera, looking at me forward-facing, for a change. I hope it adds some variety to my vlog. Some of these corners are fairly tight, and the middle sections are covered with all this loose chipping. So I don't want to be rush. Or I'll be brush on the floor. And you'd love seeing that, wouldn't you? Yeah. What are you doing over the other side, you donkey? God, shame I didn't have my forward-facing camera on my helmet. Could have caught a beauty there. White van man with his t-shirt off. Looked like he was holding his lunch in his hand, and right over my side of the road, heading straight at me. Another reason not to go quick on these kind of little windy country lanes. Two things: loose gravel and muppets on the wrong side of the road. You never know what you might get. And because we're so vulnerable on a motorcycle, Who's going to come worse off? Him in his car? Or me on the motorcycle? Answers on a postcard, please. I think it's time for a vroom vroom vroom. There you go. And that lady would have thought, what's he doing? Do it properly. There you go. 2 for the price of 1. Right. So for this vlog, I'm going to say goodbye. So long. Enjoy your day. I certainly am in this nice sunshine. Hope you're out on your bike, enjoying yourself. Ride safe. Keep well. Keep your bike well. And keep smiling.